We have Pastor Tonye. Can you welcome Pastor Tonye with us?
All right, Pastor Tonye, we want to welcome you. Good day to you. We would like to hear from you.
Can you hear me?
All right, we can hear you loud and clear. You are welcome
Excellent.
to Mindshift 2020.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is the volume good enough?
The volume is good. Very, very good.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, the house is set. The world is waiting, and we are ready to receive you to Mindshift 2020.
Definitely.
Over to you. We want to hear from you.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Pastor. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful time.
Yeah.
And just listening to your open statement, Pastor Ade, was exactly what we need in this time and this season. So I want to thank you very much. I want to thank you
sir.
because you did not give up.
Yeah.
You are not one that I've ever known to give up. And at a time like this, you did what I expected, which is to step up.
Yeah,
and you
thank
just
you.
flowed very, very smoothly into this season, into this time, and into the digital age. You know, you've always been digital, so well done, well done.
Thank you very
And I
much.
also want to, seriously, and I want to give my greetings. I see my elders in the house and my augurs. I see Pastor Peter. Peter, God bless you. You are always there for the youth. You are truly, truly, truly a youth pastor at heart. And Auntie Funke, well done. Thank you for coming. And my Oga at the very top, Pastor Yinka Sonny, God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, today, my brothers and sisters, today is one of those special days. It's a day where we have had to adapt like no man's business very, very quickly to technology. I remember that this conference was meant to have been done face to face. But today we're sitting down in different parts of the country, different parts of the nation, different parts of the world, and we are together. Now, what has God done with all of this? He has shown that disruption and major disruptions are also great opportunities. As we come out of this crisis, as we come out of this period, one thing is certain, that if you are doing the business and you are operating in the same way that you used to operate pre-lockdown, then you have to review your business plan. It means that you are in trouble already. You see, pre-lockdown and today are totally different, totally different. How that business used to work in March is definitely not how it is going to work today in June. And the Mindshift conference, for one thing, has shown you this. The mere fact that we are sitting down at different places on our different devices and speaking to each other must tell you that business is no longer as usual. You see, COVID-19 has changed everything. It's changed the way we worship. It's changed how we evangelize. It's changed the way we teach. It's changed the way we preach. It's changed how we conduct business. It has changed how we buy and sell. It has changed how we administer healthcare to each other. It has changed how we govern. There's literally no aspect of our lives as we used to know it that has not been affected one way or another. So when conference organizers like this come and ask that you should come and speak about buying the future, you know that it is God that has spoken to them, because they understood way back that what you were going to see in January is not the same as you are seeing today. So I'm going to definitely need God's help today, because this skill, buying the future, is something that all of us need, and we need it desperately. We need to understand it, because if you
able to access the future, then you have a big, big problem. So the first thing that I want to say is that if you are going to deal with the future at all, you must fear God. That's the first place. It is very important that you have a relationship with the one who owns the future. it's important that you have a relationship with the one who knows tomorrow. It's extremely important that you have a relationship with the one who is able to be there in the future by the time you get there. Now, some people go to the devil to buy their future. They go there because they want to be rich. They go there because they want children. People do it all the time. But I can assure you that is counterfeit. It is counterfeit. So do not even attempt to negotiate or buy your future if you do not know the God that you are going to deal with. And so the first place of truly knowing God, and I'm speaking from experience, is that you must have the fear of God in you. You must have the fear of God in you. You see, everything outside of your control, of which the future happens to be one, all you can plan for it. All you can do is put things in place today for it tomorrow. But that it is going to turn out as you have planned, it is only God that can guarantee it. Why? Because he's the same one who created all things. He's the same one who can make it happen tomorrow. You see, in Job 38 and 39, God asked Job some things, some questions. Every time I read those questions, I shake. Job could not answer very, very wisely. He did not even attempt to answer. All he did is that he put faith, deep faith, that the one who is in tomorrow is there for you today. And so where I start off in any of my business plans, in anything that I want to do, is that I must fear God. The second thing very quickly that you must know is know yourself. If you are not able to conquer yourself in this journey, if you are not able to conquer yourself, if you don't know yourself, then you will not be able to even approach God properly. You will not be able to do anything that will secure your future. Now, if there's something that COVID-19 has taught all of us, every single one of us, and I hope you learned that lesson, is that Nigeria and the ability to fix Nigeria is left to us and us alone. There is absolutely nobody anywhere
That's true.
that is going to come and help you fix it. And so the reason why we are here, the reason why conferences like this are important is that it is now in our hands to face the challenges and overcome all of them. For us to be able to do that, we must understand that it is not a mistake that we are born Nigerian, in the tribe that we are born, in the family we are born to, in the status of our family. It was no mistake by God. He gave us all of these things so that we were best positioned and best situated to handle and manage the challenges that come before us. Now, once you can understand those two things, first God and yourself, then you begin to know how you carry forward into negotiating your future. Now, the first thing that you must understand is that if you are going to buy any single thing, you need to have currency. If you take the wrong currency to the market, you cannot buy anything in that market. Assuming I go right now to Balogun market and I bring Brazilian reals and I try to buy a tin of Gary, it means absolutely nothing to the person selling. Which means that if I am going to deal with my future, it is extremely important that if I am going to God, that I must speak to him in the currency that he understands. I must speak to him in the currency that he understands. So I must take the currency of heaven with me. The first currency of heaven that I must go with is love. And why is this important? Because perfect love casts away all fear. Now, in business, in this period, as we move forward, one of the biggest things that paralyzes everyone is fear. There's a fear for the future. There's a fear for what is happening. There's a fear whether we're going to still have a business. There's a fear of whether or not the economy is going to collapse. There is fear everywhere. The currency that you need that takes that away is love. Now, for us who are going into the future, the one thing that we must know is that fear of failure cannot even begin to exist. As a business person, you must have the stomach to face the challenges that are bigger than you. You must know that nothing can stop you because of the God that is behind you. You must believe that success is guaranteed for you if you follow the principles of heaven. And that brings me to the second currency that we must carry when we are going in to negotiate. We are in June. Half the year has gone. How we approach the second half of this year is extreme. And the only thing that can help us succeed in this period is faith. It's a currency of heaven. It's a currency that says that I'm coming to God because I believe in him. It's a currency that says that the hope that this year is going to turn out great lies in him. And that faith that calls things that are not as though they are and brings them into existence. So look around you. The one thing that has excited me about this period is that every challenge and every problem that it has brought forward has been an opportunity in itself. There has been great opportunities that have been created because of what we see. Opportunities have been created in the agricultural space. Opportunities have been created in the space of logistics, moving goods from place to place. Opportunities have been created in technology-enhanced platforms. Anybody who understands technology now is in a huge opportunity matrix. So many problems that have been brought about by a lockdown that has created opportunities which your mindset must address. So faith is absolutely important. I have sat down in my house in this period of lockdown and set up and organized at the very least 3 different operations that are running fully, and they were birthed just 4 actually, that have been run and birthed in this period in different sectors. And the opportunity has caused each one of them to thrive. How do you see the problem? Allows you to see beyond a problem and to capture the opportunity. Another thing that is a currency that you need when you go into heaven is the currency of wealth creation. You see, a lot of people would always tell you the biggest problem they have in starting any business whatsoever is the issue of finance. They tell you that there's no money, especially now that they cannot get access to funds. I'm going to leave Pastor Yinka Sonny, who is my guy in the banking sector, to explain to you that wealth creation and access of funds has very little to do with the money that is available, and everything to do with you, your belief, your idea, and your how you have put everything together, and how you have broken it down in the way and manner in which the steps are going to generate success. God has given us a model for which all your dreams and your vision can be financed. And he expects you to understand it. It's once you follow that model, once you follow those principles, cash is not what God sees. God does not see cash. What he sees are the principles that you bring forward. And when you bring those principles forward, all of heaven begins to ensure that everything needed to birth that dream is put in place. And the principles are simple. He gives you a dream and a vision. He deposits it in you. You sit down and you write it. And you make it plain so that everybody who sees it can understand it. It's a vision that shows you your destination and then the steps that you need to follow. After you have written it down, painstakingly taking a look at it, you now identify the initial steps that you must take, and you make it within a space that allows all that God has put around you to kick it into being. He provides everything that you need for you to start any business from the opportunities around you. You don't have to go far. You don't have to sweat it. You just have to follow it. Some are built through network and goodwill. Some you get through family and friends. There are 3 F's that God has put before you: family, friends, and fools. And that brings me, once you understand, you have written your vision, once you understand where you're going, once you have broken it down to the steps that say start small and grow big, once you understand that the initial things that you need are around you, then you go into the next aspect of the currency of heaven, which is a currency of networking. You see, networking and relationship is a currency that God understands from the beginning. If you go into Genesis, you will understand Genesis, starting from verse 1. God made heaven and the earth. By the time you go down, you see that the Spirit of God, second, God made. Then the Spirit of God hovered. Then God said, let there be light. And it follows and continues until you start saying, let us make man in our own image. God, from the initial stage, using himself as an example, showed that everything that he does it in network. He then made man and began to fellowship with man. And he made man a networker because he, God, is a networker. Build your relationships. Build your relationships. And let that relationship be as gold to you. Don't waste it. Hold it. Cherish it. Build it. Grow it. Store it. Don't abuse it. God never abuses the relationship he has with man. He has never abused the relationship he has with the Trinity. Not God the Father, not God the Son, not God the Holy Spirit. They understand it. It's a currency that buys your future. You see, the relationships you build today, they pay you way, way, way into the future. There are people who I built relationships with 20, 30, 40 years ago. build relationships. Never ask them for anything. Just build relationships. 20 years down the line, that relationship paid off when you needed to cash in the currency, when you needed to exchange it for something. Build your relationships. Don't take relationships as transactional. People, they bribe relationship. God does not understand that, because you are not purchasing a relationship. That is not building a relationship. The spiritual realm does not understand that kind of transaction. The heart is what it understands. So when you are building a network, build a genuine network. A genuine network. The Jews understand this. That's why when any Jew gets up and goes to any country, he will first connect with the fellow Jews. They will make sure he's settled. They will make sure he has a place to stay. They will make sure he starts a place where he can apprentice or start a business. They will ensure that they give him everything within the network that allows him or her to rise. That's why you never find a poor Jew. That's why you never find a Jew that is a beggar. They network properly. That is heaven's currency. For you to access and purchase that currency, you now have the currency. What do you do with it? How do you then go and begin to buy your future? There are certain things that you must do. And I'll just go through them very, very quickly. Probably in about 5 minutes so that I round up. First, diligence will make people that need your service to find you. He says, see a man who is diligent in his works. He will stand before kings, before CEOs, before presidents, before governors. So be diligent. That small thing that God has given to you, be diligent. That currency will cause people to come to you so that they can find you. Second, relationships. I've talked about that. Build it. That relationship will get you into places that no one else. It will open doors for you. Then you can use your currency once you get in. Third, innovation. The ideas, innovative ideas will differentiate you. Your innovative ideas will differentiate you. It will put you in a position that differentiates you. So be innovative. Do not mess around with your thinking. There's a word we use in my company, innovate or die. Innovate or die. If you do not innovate, you will die. In this period of COVID, innovate. Think differently. Stand out. Look around and look differently. When everybody is running away, you enter and say, why are they running? What can I solve as a problem to stop people from running? Innovate. Think differently. Number 4, impacting lives, service to others will sustain you. As you go into the future, you want to be sustainable. The only way that you can be sustainable is that you must be a giver and not a taker. You must be ready to pour yourself out. You must be ready to give out those ideas. You must be ready to serve. You must be ready to bring what God has put inside of you and use it as a blessing to others. If you do not serve, if you do not give out, you will never be able to sustainable. Generational thinking will outlive you. The way you think must be different from everybody else. Number 5, generational thinking will outlive you. Make sure you think beyond your lifetime. Question yourself, See in your mind a picture. 20 years from now, where will I be living? How many people will I be employing? In how many countries will I be investing in? Think 50 years from now, will this business that I started, will it still be alive? Who will be running it? Will it be me or somebody else? Will I be earning an income from it? If I set it up, will shares and dividends come to me? Ask yourself 100 years from now, as you are sitting down now, write 20 years, 50 years, then write 100 years. What will this company be doing? You will be dead. Who will be running it? Your children's children will be alive then. Will they still own shares in it? Do not allow your vision to frighten you. Never. Don't allow your vision to frighten you. You see, that vision that you see, how far, what you have written down, don't allow it to frighten you. Think 100 years, think beyond you. It is that vision that gives life to the. It's the vision you have that gives life to the business. But don't forget, even though your vision is big, think small, start small. Your vision is big, start small and begin to grow it into that vision. The final thing is that God will complete you. We started with God. I want to end with him. Solomon, who is the wealthiest and wisest man the world has ever known, he came to this conclusion. He did it all. He saw it all. He tasted it all. He discovered everything that life could bring. And he made a conclusion. He said, all is vanity upon vanity without God. Ecclesiastes 12:13-14 says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. My brothers and sisters, you are on earth for a purpose, and a very specific purpose at that. You must account fully for everything that you have done. The purpose for which you have been created, you must walk in it, and you will walk in it. And God will bless you as you do so. He will give us the grace that is attached to purpose. And that means that what is meant to be hard is going to be easy. We will find mercy, which means that we will find things that have been hidden from us, and God will bring it out so that we can use it. We will find favor, which means that everything that should not ordinarily come to us will come to us because we have the currency of heaven and because we are in his ways. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful one. We appreciate you. But we have a question for you, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, from one of the listeners. Left to me, one of the greatest things I can hook onto is innovate or die.
Yeah.
Because once you see it as the only way out, then you will innovate. The question here says, sir, does mentorship play any role in respect to buying the future? If you can just do that for us in about 30 seconds or a minute, we'll appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now remember that I said one of the things that God has done is that God is a networker. Mentoring is about networks. Yeah. You cannot be mentored if you have not created a network. You cannot mentor anyone if you don't have a relationship with that person. Mentoring is all about networking. Mentoring is about relationships. That is what makes mentoring great.
Okay.
Mentoring is about networking and it's about relationship. That's what makes it great. We appreciate you once more. Pastor Mr. Tonye Cole.
Thank you, Pastor.
We celebrate you and we pray that the Lord continue to lift you up and keep using you as a great influence in this end time at several strata of life in the name of Jesus. Wow.
Amen.
What a word.
Yes, we thank you so much, Pastor Tonye Cole. God bless you in Jesus' name.